This lesson is about the quarterly game plan system. It talks about how to set up a repeatable business planning strategy based on a quarterly cycle. The benefit to you is a repeatable planning cycle that gets you to your destination as efficiently and as fast as possible. This is your yellow belt or introductory course. What are quarterly game plans? The previous lesson covered a 3-year destination for your business. Quarterly game plans are a repeatable planning routine to move your business towards that destination. Routines make work easier because they reduce uncertainty that takes time to manage and can also generate associated stress. Game plans set a project for the quarter, then execute it in a series of sprints. Here we describe the thought behind game plans and how to set them up. So why have a quarterly work cycle? Many respected management advisors recommend 90 days. If your period for your work cycle is too short, you tend to get fluctuations that distort how well you can see what's happening. Over a quarter, these fluctuations tend to smooth out. If you have longer than 90 days, there's a tendency that you'll lose focus on what you're trying to achieve. And the other advantage of the 90 days is that it ties in with your quarterly accounts for measurement purposes. What is the cycle each quarter? Well, it begins with planning what you're going to do over the quarter, then do what you plan for the quarter, check the results at the end of the quarter to see what happened and what you learned from it, and then adapt your business and your next round of plans as necessary. This is called the PDCA cycle and is used by many successful businesses like Toyota, for example. We then rinse and repeat the process into the next quarterly game plan. So how do we know what to do next for this coming quarter? Owners are generally faced with lots of possible things you could do, but you only have limited time. So what we need to do is to reduce all these possibles to just one or two main focuses for the quarterly game plan. Our desire is to get to the destination as fast as possible. So the 3-step process for doing that is firstly to list all the possible tasks that we could do, and then assign priorities to these possible tasks, and then pop just the top 1 or 2 prioritized tasks as the things that you're going to try and do in this quarter. Other lessons and articles in the resources explain these steps in more detail. Let's talk about the rocks, pebbles, and sand approach. During every quarterly game plan, we're going to repeat the same routine. It begins with the so-called rocks. These are 1 or 2 major quarterly projects that you selected to get to your destination as soon as possible. These are our top priority because they have the biggest impact on the destination. Second are the pebbles. These are important business systems like your accounts and marketing that you want to improve. We use the Kaizen technique to incrementally improve these so that operations just keep getting better and better. These are important because it improves your efficiency of your business. There's more on Kaizen in the lessons resources. And lastly, part of your team's time will be consumed by routine maintenance. This is the sand. But we try also to Kaizen these so that we reduce the maintenance time now and in the future. Working on maintenance is important because it reduces the possibility of breakdowns. Experts say to do the rocks first, then the pebbles, and lastly use the sand to fill in the spaces left over. How are we going to write a quarterly game plan? Well, there's no particular formula. Really what we're looking for is a paragraph that explains firstly your main focus for the quarter, and secondly how you'll know if you're progressing towards satisfying that task. And lastly, the tasks that you choose should be big enough to consume your available time over the next 90 days, but not so big that you can't get it done in this quarter. We don't want to drift into the next quarter. So let's have a look at some example quarterly work plans. The first example reads quarter 2 of 2027. We're going to develop a social marketing system aimed at health professionals in Queensland. We're aiming for 2 socials a week and to build a system as automated as possible. As an example of a Kaizen, we might have the following. Quarter 2, 2027, tweak accounts receivable process to automate invoices and reminders to minimize my time, but keep me posted on any late payers. As a third example for quarter 3, 2027, develop a plan, budget, and recruitment process to hire a second support nurse in the next 90 days. Now it's time for some homework, and this is important that you try this while it's fresh in your mind. You should already have your proposed destination from an earlier lesson. Now I want you to pause the video and list several possibilities that come to mind as the main impediments to getting to this destination that you could start doing this game plan. So by way of example, it might be better marketing, more labour. Now try to work out which of these possibles to do first and how much can be achieved in this quarter. Based on this, write a paragraph on your choice, and this is your quarterly game plan. If you found it a challenge, you can learn more on streamlining the process in the resources in this lesson. So let's wrap up this quarterly game plan lesson. This quarterly game plan cycle is the second part of your repeatable business success system. It takes you towards your destination as quickly as possible. Try the lesson tests and check the resources for more links. If you have any other questions or suggestions to improve this lesson, please email reception@backstop.business.